Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here today for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Jo Ellison. Well, today on this Friday marks 27 years since an EF3 tornado devastated the River Valley back on April 21st, 1996. The half-a-mile-wide twister hit Fort Smith and later the Van Buren area, killing 2 and injuring more than 40. Oh, we're taking a look back, showing you some interviews 5 News did with people around the time it happened and even through the years.
I always told everybody I like tornadoes. I admired them because they're beautiful, you know. Not this.
And then you just heard like screeching of nails being pulled away from rotten timber. And then I heard Rosetta say, "Mama, what's happening?" And then she said, "Car's not moving."
One of the 2 children who died back in 1996 was this little guy here, 5-year-old Kyle Johnson. This is his grandmother, Connie Johnson. She spoke with us back in 2016. Her Fort Smith home was hit moments after the tornado hit Garrison Avenue, which is what you're seeing video of here now. Several historic buildings were destroyed in downtown Fort Smith, with FEMA estimating 1,800 homes were either damaged or destroyed. The same supercell later produced a second tornado in Madison County, which killed another 2 people. All right, now before we get to other news, let's go ahead and get a check of the weather with meteorologist Zach Scott. We're starting off this Friday, Zach. We're hoping to go into a nice weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. We're looking at some changes, though, coming. Today's not too bad, but it is going to be noticeably cooler. We started out with a lot of sunshine to kick off the Friday. We had the clouds from overnight just move out towards the east, and now we're watching more clouds slowly move out of Oklahoma into Arkansas throughout Friday morning, and that's going to continue with clearing sunshine as we go through the afternoon. So did you get all that? We're going to see clouds move in for the first half of your day, and then as we go through the afternoon, we'll see more sunshine increase again from the west to the east. Temperatures today cooler. We've opened the door behind yesterday's cold front to get some cooler air to start to filter in here. The coolest of the air mass will actually be here Saturday and Sunday, so we'll take a little bit more of a dip. And then overall, a cooler active pattern is going to stick around through next week, meaning added cloud cover, off and on rain chances, and then temperatures not in the 70s and 80s like we've seen the last few days. Mid to upper 60s is what we're mostly looking at for northwest Arkansas. Again, increasing afternoon sunshine. We also have a north wind around northwest Arkansas today. 10 to 20 miles per hour, and then the River Valley more 5 to 15 miles per hour. So again, especially with the clouds that build in through the first half of the day, that could make it feel a little cooler outside. Upper 60s, low 70s. Can't roll out a stray shower and sprinkle completely for the River Valley. That's why we have that 10% chance in there. 30s and 40s as we go overnight into Saturday morning. We'll have another chilly night going into Saturday night and Sunday morning. 30s and 40s. Saving grace from keeping us from likely right now hitting that freezing mark is going to be cloud cover. Acts like a blanket, traps in the warmth accumulated from the afternoon before, doesn't let it radiate back out to space as fast. If we do get clouds to break up further north, we're talking far northern, northwestern Arkansas around the Missouri border, you have a little bit better chance that the clouds could break up overnight and you get some clear skies. Temperatures can drop a couple more degrees. We're going to be close. Right now, I've got us just above the freezing mark, but some patchy frost will be possible for northwest Arkansas. Again, we've got a chance for some rain, Joe, this weekend. Not a lot of moisture to work with, but we do have some weak disturbances passing through, so can't quite rule out a few stray showers or some sprinkles. We'll keep you updated.
All right, thanks so much, Zach. All right, let's get you caught up with some stories you might have missed this week. It's been 3 weeks since a deadly tornado outbreak left behind a train of destruction across Arkansas. And volunteers were helping with the recovery efforts to continue to prove they're there for the long haul. Brooke Buckner introduced us to one group and shows us how they're making a difference and providing a bit of hope.
This is one of the things you'll hear a lot of in Little Rock's Walnut Valley neighborhood.
They just show up with everything and fix it. It's like it literally is a helping hand from up above.
Legina Boswell has owned this house since 2017 and helped her daughter and son-in-law make it a home for their growing family.
It's just gone. I mean, it's just a mess.
But just this room. Luckily, she says the majority of the house is fine and it can all be fixed. Nonprofit Samaritan's Purse is stepping in to help with that.
We go all around the world helping with disasters.
Rachel Miller with Samaritan's Purse tells me they're focused on getting people back in their homes as soon as they can.
We've had over 400 volunteers in the Little Rock area.
From all over the country.
We do chainsaw work, tarping, and then we also help homeowners salvage belongings.
And there's no cost for the homeowner. Boswell says she's overwhelmed by all of the help and support during this challenging time.
This has just really been a blessing. You know, people don't understand. When they show up, they help. It's incredible.
And they plan to stick around to help as many neighbors who need it.
We address every single work request that we have. We're planning to be here for about 2 more weeks, but we may need to extend depending on the need in the community.
They're kind of like superheroes.
In Little Rock, Brooke Buckner, 5 News.
Well, also, April is National Autism Awareness Month, and 5 News reporter Rachel Williams is shining a light on one Boonville teenager who didn't let autism affect him.
Good morning. In April, not only are we bringing awareness to the topic, but it's important to have acceptance and inclusion involved with those who have different neurologies. Let's take a look at one teenager who's bringing awareness by sharing his story.
Autism is not actually an illness. It's not a condition. Autism is just simply a slightly different, or maybe more than slightly different way that their minds might be wired. But honestly, people who are spectrum or people who are autistic, they are just regular old people.
18-year-old Aaron Rhodes has high-functioning autism and is a musician in the Boonville band.
This instrument is called a euphonium.
Is that your favorite instrument versus the trombone?
Yes, trombone is like number 2.
Growing up wasn't an easy path, but Aaron persevered.
At first it was challenging because whenever I was first started school, I went from kindergarten to 5th grade on doing special education.
Aaron overcame his struggles in 6th grade enough to where he was able to pay attention and focus more through the help of an individualized educational plan known as IEP. And in the midst of all of that, he says he found his own sense of therapy.
Whenever I was first on this IEP and towards like mid, like in the middle, I was playing, that's when I first learned to play the trombone. But then I was able to evolve with that can help me get my mind off of it.
As for his parents, Brian and Angela Rhodes, they say raising Aaron has taught them how to help their son, but it's also made them better educators for the Boonville School District.
The kinds of things you do to modify for a student like Aaron, it really helps with all kinds of kids, to be honest. But
we've had several students over the years with the same tendencies, and this really does help us help more people.
Words of advice from the Rhodes family on raising a child on the spectrum is to not be scared to ask for help.
Whatever happens, make sure everyone in society, the parents, whoever you surround your child with, just make sure the child understands that they are valuable. Wherever they are on the spectrum, they are valued and they are valuable.
And they're not a burden on anybody.
And for anyone on the autism spectrum,
don't give up. They just think if they don't give up, they'll persevere and they can see the results at the end.
I spoke with medical experts and they say the first sign of autism in babies is the inability to console and lack of bonding. And for toddlers and young children, it's tantrums when the routine is broken and no interactive play. Rachel Williams, 5 News.
All right, thanks for that, Rachel. The University of Arkansas holding an investiture ceremony for Chancellor Charles Robinson. He made history by becoming the first black chancellor at the U of A, and he has also laid out how he's building a strategic plan for the university's future. Once again, we have 5 News reporter Rachel Williams. She was at the ceremony.
I hereby bestow on Dr. Charles Robinson the title of Chancellor, University of Arkansas Fayetteville.
Thursday afternoon, Dr. Charles Robinson was formally sworn in as the 7th Chancellor at the University of Arkansas.
As I said, there are no words that are adequate, but I am grateful and I'm thankful for your support, and I promise you that you will always, every day, get the very best of me.
As he steps into this role, Dr. Robinson says he has a strategic plan in progress that has advanced from designing and setting priority areas to creating goals and objectives.
We are looking at 3 principal areas. Student success is always, we want to produce better outcomes for our students, prepare them better for the workforce, and then, of course, research, expansion and commercialization so we can connect better to industry and help communities through our applied research.
By next month, the chancellor says they hope to begin developing strategies in place for the plan.
But we'll get to a point where we'll be able to lay out something for the campus that reflects what the campus will try to accomplish in the next 5 or 10 years.
The University of Arkansas is a land-grant university, which means it was created to serve the people of the state. Dr. Robinson's mission is to create opportunities for every citizen in the state of Arkansas.
We have to continue to work on controlling costs, creating scholarships so that more students, particularly Arkansas students, can have discounts that makes this opportunity less of a barrier for them.
In Fayetteville, covering News Where You Live, Rachel Williams, 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Jo Ellison. We'll hope you have a great weekend.